G'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back for another episode of Wasteland Survival. So in the last episode we got the majority of these legs done for this landing pad, and at the end of the episode I went over a couple of things that I thought about the Wasteland update. So obviously in this episode we're going to finish this landing pad, and then from there I'm probably going to take the Pilgrim out into space and we will go and get ourselves some gold, and then from there we can finally start thinking about a printer to actually print the Atlas and get that all built. So what I need to do first obviously is basically finish welding up these legs. So I think they're going to look pretty cool, but one thing I was kind of thinking about doing though at the end of last episode was actually changing some of these blocks here. So let's just have a look at the industrial blocks here, and I want to have a look at these beam blocks because I think these might add something a little bit interesting to this setup. And what we can do is we can do something like this. So I can use these blocks here, the 2x1 bases and the 2x1 tips. So we could do something like that. Although, so yeah, like this. Let me just quickly weld this up and see what it looks like. So yeah, we could do something like that down the center, all the way down the middle, and we could do something similar to that on these legs as well, and then also these legs as well. And also one of the other things I want to do is grind away these kind of tunnels that I've built for all these tubes and actually replace them with the round tubes. So yeah, there is that too. So alright, well, let's see how many steel plates have actually been made, because this is pretty much immediately after the last episode, so I haven't left the base running, and I don't know how many steel plates have actually been manufactured yet. I know I put about 100,000 of those on order, but let's just see exactly how many of those have actually been made. So not many by the looks of it. How many more are on order? Well, it seems like at least 60,000 have been made somewhere. So let's try and find them all. So there's 900 there. That's weird. I thought I placed 100,000 of those on order. Maybe not. I wonder where they're all going then. That's weird. Oh well. Let's just see exactly how many I can fit in this ship. I think I should be able to fill it up completely, but we will see how we go. Alright, cool. So I've been able to fill the weld ship up entirely, so that should hopefully be enough to get the rest of these legs complete. And it looks like we've got about 12.6 gravel, which I think was about just a little over double what we had before, so I think we definitely should have enough now to actually build all of the reactor components that we need as well. So what I'll do though is I will actually place 1,000 of those on order, or maybe I'll go 800 because I'm not exactly sure how many I need. Do I have enough silver ingots for that? I think I should be okay. Let's have a look. So silver ingots. So looks like I've got 6.36k. Yeah, so I think I should be more than fine with that. Oh, actually, no, it looks like I've got around about 20,000 gravel. So that should be plenty. You can see here I need only 5,300 to build another 800 reactor components, and that should hopefully be enough to build the single large reactor in the Atlas. Alright, well, let's go ahead and do some welding. Alright, well that's all these done now, so I decided just to do the last little bits by hand because, yeah, I just couldn't reach them with the welding ship. And I think I've actually figured out what was going on with those steel plates as well. So I'm pretty sure you guys would have noticed what was going on, but at that time I just couldn't really picture it in my head. So yeah, I think what's happening here is that all these other assemblers are actually full. So I suspect that another one of these somewhere has got the other steel plates queued up on it. Or maybe it's just this one. But it looks like all of the iron has kind of accumulated in all of these assemblers, which isn't good. So let me see if I can drag some of this iron out of these assemblers and yeah, make some room so that we can actually build something. So I think once I actually remove all of that stuff, I should actually be able to build something. Although this looks, yeah, so this is all the refineries. And you can just see the sheer amount of iron that we managed to accumulate, which is just crazy. Do we have any more in these ones? No, I've only got 280 in that one. So yeah, you can see there's like 31.5k in that assembler, and then there's 31.5 in that assembler as well. Interesting. So why is it then that these assemblers are not actually building anything? Oh, now they are, yeah. So looks like I was right, they are actually full. But the funny thing is though, right, is if it's full of iron, I don't really understand why it then can't build the steel plates, because realistically the steel plates need the iron ingots anyway, so you would think it would just go ahead and build them with whatever iron it had. But it seems like if the assemblers are actually full of whatever, then they can't actually build anything. So that is a bit strange. I don't remember, well, at least I don't think I've ever noticed that before. So maybe that is the way it works and I just haven't noticed that before. Or maybe that's something that has changed since the latest update, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure. So yeah, I think that is what was happening with all that sort of stuff. So we'll try and get all of this stuff in here. So it turns out that I got myself quite a bit of gravel. So I think we should have enough to build, yeah, plenty of reactor components. And in fact, I might even have enough to build reactor components so that I can build like maybe another 2 large reactors. So let's just see how much gravel I got out of that as well. And what I mean by out of that was, you know, the last time, at the end of the last episode when we went out mining for all this stuff. So yeah, you can see we got a whole bunch of gravel there. And yeah. Oh goodness, that is a lot of iron ingots. That's insane. So yeah, 1.49 million. Crazy, just absolutely crazy. Is this building steel plates now? Yes. Alright, cool. Well, you know what? Hang on. Oh, what am I doing? Let me build another 50,000. Actually, I'll go 40,000 because I think I'll struggle to have the room to store them. Alright, cool. So now that that's sorted out and all the assemblers are actually working together to actually build all of those steel plates, we should be able to build them a lot faster. So, what do I want to do next? Alright, so in between the last part and this one, I actually played around with these blocks. And you guys might remember at the end of the last episode, I was playing around with these blocks that were just introduced into the game. And if I use these two here, and I place them side by side, then they don't actually match up properly. So I don't know what that's about. But it seems like, interestingly enough, that these half blocks actually do line up. So I do find that a little bit strange. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a line across here. I've kind of thought about putting a line across here But I don't think I am going to do that. I think it's going to be just a little bit too much. So I'll probably forego the line there at least. Yeah, alright, so I didn't grind that off. And it looks like as well, I can't really change the color of these blocks either, so... yeah, awesome. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and we'll place all of these all the way along. And I think it would just make it just that little bit more interesting. So, just quickly weld these up. Awesome. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Doesn't look half bad actually. Like I said, I think it would be a little bit too much to have it all the way along here. So maybe we can do, maybe that's something that would be better suited to like just the occasional detail here or there. I don't think I want to make a massive use of that block, or that color scheme I should say. Right, so one other thing I think I want to do before I move on to anything else is I kind of want to replicate this over to these legs here, and then from there I want to get rid of this tunnel and I want to actually change it to a pipe. And it looks like it is beginning to be nighttime, so that is a bit of a shame, but there isn't much that we can do about that. And I actually do wonder what it would be like to color these blocks here, these blast door blocks, in this this color scheme. So let's see if we can select this skin. Let's see what this looks like. Okay then, it doesn't look like anything. Now that is interesting. So it seems that the blast door blocks have no color scheme whatsoever. So I wonder if that is a glitch, or if that is the way that it is supposed to be. I would like to think that it isn't the way it's supposed to be, but I'm not exactly sure. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll just change it back to the colors that it was before, and we'll just kind of rock with that for the time being until I either, number one, figure out if that is actually the way it's supposed to be, or number two, if Keen Software go ahead and actually fix that issue, if it is indeed an issue. But I guess I just said that, so that's fine. Alright, so what I'm going to do though is I'm actually going to replicate the same pattern on this side, on these legs, and yeah, so then we'll kind of go from there. And I'll probably skip to the part where I actually go and show you what it looks like, or maybe I will. Maybe we'll have a look at it and see what it looks like before we actually go ahead and weld it, just to make sure that it looks pretty good. But I'm pretty sure it's going to look really nice, so I don't think I'm too worried about that. Alright, well I finished placing down all these blocks, and I kind of wanted to raise a little bit of an interesting point. Well, at least I think it's interesting. I'm not sure what you guys think, but I think it looks pretty good so far. I probably really need to weld up most of this stuff so that we can get a little bit of a better idea. But what I thought about was I would probably weld all this up using my weld ship, but I was thinking about it, and if I'm going to be getting rid of the blocks that cover the tunnel tubes, or the tubes, then I'm probably going to end up with a whole bunch of steel plates. So what I'm thinking of doing here is basically grinding back all of these blocks and then actually using them to then weld up the legs. Because obviously if I kind of weld up the legs and then I go and grind these, then I'm kind of double handling, if you know what I mean. So at least this way, if I use all the steel plates from this tunnel to then weld up the legs, then I'm kind of utilizing my time a little bit better, if that makes sense. Although I wonder if it would be quicker to do that using the mining ship, or the welding ship, but I don't think it will be, because to be honest with you, for for little projects like this, the hand welder is actually exceptionally fast. Whereas the welder can sometimes be, or the welding ship can sometimes be kind of a little bit cumbersome. And if you're doing large areas, then it's definitely the way to go. But if you're doing something like a leg, like of this size, then I think, honestly, the way to go is just using a hand welder. And as you can see, I've almost completed this entire leg by hand, and it hasn't really taken me that long at all. So let's get a better look at this and see how it looks. Now obviously what I'm going to be doing though is getting rid of this here, because I no longer need this. So it'll kind of look like that. And as I mentioned before, what I'm probably going to do is put these little support beams in the middle as well. And I may make them a different color again, but I'm not 110% sure as to which color I want to make them. So let us continue welding all of this up and grinding away this tunnel, and yeah, hopefully we will be done quite soon. Alright, well, as you guys can see, I've basically gotten rid of all of the blocks and all of the catwalks that are surrounding these conveyor tubes. So now I basically just need to grind them all down and then replace them with the round ones. But before I go ahead and do that, I was just kind of thinking of the most efficient way to do that. And honestly, I think the best way is going to be to get rid of the welders on the weld ship and turn it back into a grind ship. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Why don't I just build a secondary grinder ship? And I will at some stage. But for this specific task, I think it's going to be a lot easier and a lot less time consuming if I use this ship to grind them, and then all the components end up in this ship. And then from there I can just go ahead and place all of the tubes down and then bring the ship back and then weld it up. So just grab enough components to get that, and then we'll go ahead and we'll grind these things down. So now, while we're on the subject of time, there is one other thing I kind of wanted to talk about, and I probably should have mentioned this at the start of the episode, but I guess, you know, I can kind of mention it at this point. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, basically at the moment I've started my second semester at university, so my videos will probably end up being about 20 minutes shorter per episode. So I'm probably going to aim for around the 50-minute mark, just because the amount of time that it takes to actually create these videos is yeah, obviously it's quite a lot. So I don't really want to well, there was basically two ways that I could do it. So the first way that I could basically do it, grinder is not working. Oh yeah, I forgot to weld this one up, of course. So yeah, as I was saying, there was basically two ways that I could have done this. I could have changed the upload schedule to like fortnightly or something like that, but that was kind of something that I didn't really want to do. I still want to make episodes every week. So yeah, I think the best way to go is going to be changing the amount of time that each episode goes for. So once I finish this semester, then obviously the videos will probably go back to being about an hour and 10 minutes, but you know, I'm sure you guys will understand, you know, my decision to do that. So yeah, hopefully it's not too much of an issue for you guys, but yeah, I know you guys are great, and you know, it won't bother you too much. So yeah, that's awesome. Right, so now all I got to do is grind down these tubes, and to be honest with you, this is a lot faster than doing it by hand. Although it seems that I have missed a catwalk for some reason. So, alright, well, all the existing conveyor tubes are ground down, so now I've got to go ahead and add in the circular ones. But what I'm going to need to do is create another conveyor junction here, and obviously another conveyor junction here. Although it seems that I have not withdrawn the correct conveyor tubes. I think what's happened is I've, for some reason, withdrawn the ones for small grid, which is unfortunate, but let's go ahead and weld this up. Right, okay, so now I can go ahead, no, I've got to leave that one there for the time being. Now, I'm not sure if I want to make this one, or this pillar, the same as these pillars, but I think I might. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright, so let's start laying out our tubes, but the thing is, with these tubes, I don't know if I want to basically make them this color, or if I want to change the color. So maybe what I could do is change the color to this, so we could go this color. So I think I'll try it this color and we'll see how we go with that, and then we can kind of make our decision. Now, one thing I found interesting though was, if you have a look at these conveyor pipes, yeah, I keep calling them tubes, but I guess we can just call them pipes. So they all seem to have a flange on one end, and then you've got this one which has a flange on no end. Now, it would be really nice if Keen added one with a flange on both sides, like this one here, but where this part is also on the other side as well, you know. So yeah, that would be kind of awesome, but I guess, you know, there's not really much I can do about that. So I'm gonna probably use just these smooth ones, just because I don't know if I really want to use the other one, if that makes sense. So let me just weld these ones up though, because I need to kind of clear some space in my inventory so I can grind these couple of conveyor tubes that I missed. And I think this one here is still there. Yep, cool. Actually, might grind or weld that back up. Right, so, and I think I'm just going to use the traditional conveyors here. I'm not too worried about that, because ultimately they're going to be blocked up with something else. So, and right here is the reason why I kind of want a conveyor pipe with a flange on both ends. So if I orientate the thing this way, then I can't see the little yellow bits on the conveyor junction. But then if I go ahead and spin it around, you can kind of see them. So I really wish they would add one with a flange on both sides. That would be awesome, but hey, maybe they'll go ahead and do that. I'm not sure, although I doubt it. I know that they did add a couple of extra blocks when they did the what was it, the Weapons 1 update? Whatever the last update was before this one. I know they did add a few things. So, you know, maybe they will, but I'm not sure. I don't think they will, but, you know, that's just me. But yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see a block like that in the game? I know I certainly would. Alright, well, let's get all these placed out, and then we can kind of go from there. So, is that... yeah, okay, so I think now if I turn... well, actually, no. I'm going to get rid of that one, and then I'm going to place a pipe end piece. So, this one here, the flanged one, once again. And then we will place one with a curve, and then we'll place one with a flange again. Not the pipe one, but this one with the flange, and then just the regular old pipe, and then we will go for one with a flange once more. Awesome. Alright, and now, since all the components should be exactly the same between these and the ones that I just ground down, we should hopefully have enough to get all of this done. So, but what I'll do though is I'll actually finish placing down all of them for the entire lot. So we'll go from here. This one I will change to a conveyor pipe that's flanged. And then we'll go back to our traditional conveyor. And then I might go a flanged one once more, which is this one. And for this one, I think I might actually use that one there. And then we can use this one here, that one, and then that one there. And then from here, we can use a cross piece. So I'm going to use this cross piece here, and then I'm just going to run a pipe all the way back. And then what I think we can do is we can grab, or we can place a connector here, so that we can dock a ship up just on the edge of this landing pad if we ever need to. And then also it kind of gives this cross piece a bit of a purpose as well. So what I can do from here is just add like a little curved pipe, and then from here we can add a flanged pipe, which is like, well, actually we'll go for this one again. Yep. Oh, damn it. Let's see here. So we will go for this one, and then we can just run our standard pipe all the way back. And what I'm going to do though is I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm just going to place in my standard kind of conveyors. And then I'll put a conveyor there. Alright, so let's weld up this tube. Then I'll put a standard conveyor here. And then from there I can just run my pipe. So we'll just grab our pipe. And again, I will make this a flanged one, which will be like that. Awesome. And then let's go ahead and weld all of these up. But first, before I even do that, I kind of need to deposit everything that I've got into the ship. Then we've got to grind these grinders off and add back our welders. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can see that we are experiencing a little bit of clang, but that's alright. Right, yeah, that always seems to happen for some reason. I know there's a little bit of a difference between the materials of a welder and a grinder, which is a little bit annoying. So, and now you can kind of see the reason why I want to get a separate grinder ship. Although, as I said at the start of this little exercise, I kind of don't want to do that in this instance, because then I would kind of have to transfer the cargo between each of the ships, and that is something that I really cannot be bothered doing. Right, so let's go ahead and get this done. Alright, well, that is all of the pipes done, and I've got to say I do have kind of mixed feelings about this. I'm not 110% sold on these pipes, even after I've gone through all that effort and actually placed them all down. So yeah, I'm not sure if I really actually like them. But oh, okay, so I'm hitting that there. So I think maybe what I will do is I'm going to get rid of this pipe in the middle, and I'm going to keep the same sort of design that I had before, where there was just kind of a block there. So what I'll do first though is I'll actually lower this ship down, and we can get a better look at this just flying around with my jetpacks. Let's just drop this ship on the ground for a moment, turn the thrusters off so it doesn't consume any power, and let's go ahead, withdraw a whole bunch of steel plates. And also what I'll do is I'll withdraw a couple of conveyor junctions. So I think, as I said just before, we will fix up these little blocks that I neglected to weld up. And what I may do here is just grind these away. Then from there I'll just add in like a conveyor tube. very similar to what I'd done before. And then I may just add a block here, and then just add another block here. So we will add another one like that, and then we'll place that there, and then we'll just grab another cubed block, place that there, and I think that is going to look just a tiny touch better than this kind of setup here. And obviously I need to fill in these blocks here, so maybe what we can do is we can do that while we're here and we are doing these. Right, yeah, so I think that looks a little bit better. I think that the new tubes do look pretty good. Now the question is, do they look better if I paint them with this color? Yeah. I don't know. I think they actually don't look too bad being that color. It actually looks pretty good. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I think for the moment, I'll just kind of leave this one this color, and I'll leave this one that color. So what I'm going to do now, obviously, is finish up filling in this. Oh, well, I've only got one block to go. So let's quickly do that. Let us change the color for these ones to that, and that is pretty much everything done. And then actually that isn't everything done, because what I want to do from here now is add in these blocks here. So we will spin this one around like that, then we'll place in 2 blocks like that, and then we should be on par with everything else. So let's just have a look at this. So yeah, I think that does look a little bit better rather than just this random little tube being in the center there. So I think that looks okay. And then maybe even what we can do is we can make use of these new blocks that they added. So we can grab, like, say a half block here. We can add that there. Then we can find the full light armor panel, and we can just add those in there. And then it is fully hidden and we cannot see a thing. So we don't even need to use the catwalk blocks like what I was using before. Even though it kind of gave it a little bit of an interesting look, but that was more for the fact that I kind of wanted to have the tunnels exposed. Now, I don't think I'm actually going to replace these tubes with the pipes. I think I'm just going to leave them the way that they are, because I am pretty happy with the way that that looks. So let's just get a little bit closer to these. Now, that kind of brings me on to the last thing. Now, I know I said I wanted to go out into space, but I kind of want to get this stuff finished. So what I want to do here is I'm going to grind this block away here, right? And then I'm going to add in this block here. I'm going to add in this one here, and then we're going to add in a whole bunch of blocks like this. And what I will do is, just to make my life a little bit easier, is I will weld up these ones here. So now what I want to do is, from this point, I want to put my support braces, which is... Did I add them to the hotbar? I can't remember where I added them. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these planters and these decorative blocks, because I don't really use them very often, so I'm going to replace them with the beam blocks. Right, so from there, I could add these blocks here. So yeah, maybe I'll do it from that point. Right, and then from there we can add in our... Is that a half slope? So I want the 2x1 tip. So we will do that, and then what I need to do on the other side is place the tip like that, and then spin this around 180 degrees and add the other side. So then we will weld these up, and let's see how these look. So yeah, it will kind of look like that. Although, I'm not going to be able to do that here, because I've gone ahead and I've added these blocks here. So that is interesting. Well, that's just kind of a problem that I'm going to have to solve a little bit later. And wow, it is so dark. Yes, this Space Got Real mod, it really kind of adds to the immersion of the world by making things a lot darker, but at the same time it does make things a little bit more challenging. So yeah, I really do like this mod, but at the same time it makes things like really hard to see, and as I said just before, it does make things a little bit more challenging. So now let's fill all of these spaces in, and let's just see how this looks. So I believe it's that one, then that one, then that one, then that one, and then finally that one. And I'll weld them all up from this side. And the good thing is, it looks like I can reach both of them from here. So, although with the exception to just the tips on the other side of the 2x1 bases. So, alright, let's go back out here. Let's weld up the last few little bits, and let's just see how this looks. Whoops, it looks like I missed one. Yeah, so I don't think that looks too bad. I mean, let me know what you guys think. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm not 100% sure if I really like it, to be honest. Well, you know what though? The problem is that being that it is not daytime and it's nighttime and I can't see a darn thing, it's really hard to determine if it does or it doesn't look good. So I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of leave it at that point, and then we'll come back to this later and we will see how it looks. Now, what is that? Oh, waypoint 1. I thought there was something coming after me. Now, as I said before, I want to take the Pilgrim up into space and I want to mine myself some gold. But the question is, do I actually have the fuel to do so? So it looks like I've got 40% fuel in the hydrogen tanks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find all the O2 H2 generators in the base. So let's see here. You know what? I really should at this point add a group. So we're going to call this the base O2. Wait, is it O? Yeah, O2, not 02. O2 H2 generators. We will save that group. And then what we can do from here is we can just turn these on or off. Actually, I put the slash the wrong way. Let's delete that one. Okay. So now it looks like they are already off, which is fantastic. And in fact, I want to turn this one off as well. Then I want to find the hydrogen tanks, which is all these ones, I believe. And also what I will do is I will name these base hydrogen tanks, and we will create a group for those as well, and we will turn those on. Then I will find the hydrogen tanks that belong to the shuttle. So let's search for those, and you can see that I have named them already. So I'm going to turn them on and I'm going to set them to stockpile. And now let's see roughly how much hydrogen I have left. Are these set to stockpile? Okay, yeah, so these base hydrogen tanks are also set to stockpile, so I'll turn that off. And now they should go ahead and fill the shuttle with all the hydrogen that I have remaining. And hopefully I have enough fuel to completely refuel the Pilgrim, and it looks like I do. So I've still got about 17% across the 16 tanks, I believe it was. So awesome. Alright, cool. So we have enough hydrogen to get ourselves into space. So let's select all these, turn stockpile off. Let's select all of the base hydrogen tanks, turn them off. Let's find the O2 H2 generators. Wait, O2? Base O2 H2 generators. Let's turn them back on. And Let's see, are they actually using any power? No, I don't think they are. Let me just confirm that they aren't actually converting any of this hydrogen, or any of this ice into hydrogen, I should say. And it looks like they're not. Okay, cool. So, awesome. Now, that actually was quite a big concern for me. I wasn't 110% sure if I actually had enough hydrogen to get myself into space. So, alright. I think that's pretty much everything I need to do. So, but before we head off into space, let's take this ship and let's put it back into the hangar. I'm not really too worried about emptying all of the components that I have in this ship. But before we park it up, I'm going to actually turn all the lights off. And let's go ahead and place this thing back into the hangar. Alright, well, she's locked. And to be honest with you guys, I am reasonably happy with how these turned out. These little catwalk things. They do work quite well, and they don't really get in the way when I'm actually docking up this ship. Now, another thing I should probably think about as well is perhaps at one stage, what I can do is I can actually replace them with these new blocks that they added into the game. So perhaps what we can do is we can add them like this, and maybe what we can do is we can use these to look as if they are holding up this these catwalks. So maybe we can do something along the lines of this. Let's spin that one upside down. Let us hope that I have enough steel plates on myself to get that done. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that is just a little bit too much compared to what I had before. So I don't know. That's something I'm going to have to think about. But, you know, without further ado, let's get into the Pilgrim and let's head off into space. Yeah, so I'm actually really enjoying some of the new blocks that they added to the game. I think a lot of them are really good. But at the same time, there are a few things that I wish they would change just slightly. And actually, this kind of brings me to a perfect example as well. So while we're here and we're actually looking at the back of the Pilgrim, there was one other thing that I noticed with the new hydrogen thrusters that they added to the game. So let me just temporarily get rid of the sci-fi atmospheric thrusters here, and let's add in the industrial hydrogen thruster. Now, what I'll do is I'll go into the garage here. I can't see what I'm doing. I'll go into the garage here, and I'm just going to place one of these on the floor, right? So we'll just place one there. And then what we'll do is we'll grab the standard counterpart, which is the large hydrogen thruster. And let's have a look at these side by side. So, as you can see, the large industrial thruster is actually one block taller than what the traditional hydrogen thruster is. And I have to say, although I really love the design of this particular thruster, I'm a little bit disappointed that it isn't the same size as the traditional thruster. And I was actually going to fully commit and convert the Atlas to all of the new hydrogen thrusters, but obviously I can't do that because the majority of the design of the ship was based around the thrusters being 3 blocks tall. And if I go ahead and I add in these thrusters, then I'm essentially going to have to redesign half the ship to do so. And I just don't think it's worth it just for like a cosmetic upgrade. And to be perfectly honest, I don't even think these thrusters are like, they don't provide you any additional thrust for all that effort. I mean, yeah, they look really nice, and honestly, they really do. They look awesome. And I guess for me, that is the part that I'm really spewing about. They just, they look so good, but I just can't use them because, yeah. So it's just one of those things. Now, thankfully what they've done is they have actually made the small thrusters the same size. So what that means is that I can go ahead and I can change all these thrusters for the new type. So, but, you know, let's stop rambling about thrusters and let's head off into space. Well, it appears that the Reavers have arrived, so I really can't go anywhere. Funny story, this actually is the second time that I've gone to head off into space and the Reavers have come a-knocking. So, although I think this time, I don't think they're actually going to get close enough to cause us any trouble, because it looks like they're not getting any closer. Yeah, and you can see he's getting further away now. So, but if I'm pretty sure if I start moving the ship around within a 5-kilometer radius of this guy, then he's going to start attacking us. So, yeah, I kind of just have to wait until he disappears. But yeah, there's not really much else I can do about that. Alright, well, it looks like this guy's finally gotten out of range, so we can now proceed to go to space. So I'll turn on all my thrusters. I've already unlocked the connector on the bottom, and then obviously we'll just unlock the landing gear and we'll see how we go. Except, just had to overcome the magnetism on the connector there. And what's really awesome about since the last update that they've done, they've actually changed the way that turn those thrusters off. They've actually changed the way that the inertial dampeners work. So now when you have something on, that's weird, there's no sound. Now when you have something on the front of the ship, it doesn't really affect it anymore. So yeah, we can just kind of concentrate on what we're doing and not have to worry about the ship on the front weighing it down, and then we can't really, yeah, like, you know how when we were entering the atmosphere in one of the previous episodes, the front of the ship kept sinking down? Yeah, well, that's not going to happen anymore, so that's awesome. Alright guys, well, I'll see you once we get into space. Alright, well, it seems like we have finally reached space, so now I just need to go and find an asteroid with some gold. I believe I already found some before, so let's just check. Yeah, so as you can see, I've got 2 asteroids here that we can choose from, and let's see roughly how far each one of these is. So I've got one over there which is 33 kilometers. Hang on, where's the other one gone? Did I actually turn that on? Okay, let me change the color of this one. Actually, no, so, wow, 75 kilometers. Alright, so we'll go to the one that's 33 kilometers, because obviously that's the, yeah, that's the closest one. So yeah, we'll head off to that asteroid, and yeah, I will see you once we get there. Alright, well, we're coming up pretty close to the asteroid now, so I think I can start slowing down just a little bit here. In fact, I need to change my hotbar for that though. So I'll slow down about as much as I can. Now, I can't remember exactly where the gold deposit is. It's telling me it's right there in the center, but I don't know if that's actually accurate. I don't think the deposit is right there. I think it's just kind of getting them mixed up. So it's telling me that they are there, but they're not. Oh yeah, okay, so it looks as if this gold deposit is actually below the surface. And oh, looks like there's another gold patch just there. So you can see it just there. So I might just check out that gold patch there first. What I'll do though is, the question is, do I actually want to lock the ship down to the asteroid? I think I may do that. I might just lock the ship down and land on the asteroid. That's what I usually do. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and we'll do that. So we will park it just here. And I have thought about actually changing the landing gears on this ship to the new type, but I'm not sure. Like, I actually, as much as I wish they were around when I was first building these ships, I actually don't mind using these landing gears because they kind of space the ship quite far off of the... Oh, what? A patrol drone already? You're kidding me. Oh. Wow. I wouldn't have thought that there would be a patrol drone that close to me. Or like, I didn't think I would encounter one so quickly. So these guys must know roughly where I am and they're just coming straight after me. Oh, and a Reaver is coming as well. No, you're denting my ship. Oh, look at that dent in the front. Alright, so I gotta hope that this Reaver doesn't come anywhere near us either. And this time, I actually didn't bring any spare parts, so... Alright, let's grind this thing away and let's use the parts off of this. There we go, a bit of heavy armor. A few thruster components. So we'll scavenge this wreck a little bit so that we can get some parts for ourselves. Alright, awesome. And then I'll go and quickly repair this. Yeah, it looks like that guy's coming straight for us, so I might have to quickly bail and then come back to this in a little bit. Jeez, I only got shot a couple of times. Yeah, no. Alright, we gotta go. Because if this guy gets within 5 kilometers of us, he's gonna chase us down. Ah, damn it. Unlock. Alright. So. Alright, we gotta bail. That's really unfortunate. And that is really frustrating. Alright, so I'll have to kind of go this way, I think, and then wait for him to pass, and then kind of go around and then get in behind him, and then come back to the asteroid that we were trying to mine just before. It's, oh, I swear he's like heading straight for me, like... I haven't seen a Reaver in, oh geez, I don't know how many hours in this playthrough, and then the moment I want to go to an asteroid and start mining some gold, I see one as I'm trying to take off, and then I see another one as I'm trying to mine something. So maybe though, actually, you know what? I'm just going to go to this other asteroid. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to go for this other asteroid. Because there's a pirate station within about 10 kilometers of this asteroid. And we have to deal with that Reaver. So if I just leave the camera here for a second, you'll see the pirate station pop up. So honestly, I think the best bet here is going to be to go and find... to go to the further asteroid, and then number one, we'll avoid the pirate station sending drones at us every 5 seconds, and number two, we will avoid the Reaver that's obviously right there. So let's wait for this thing to pop up and see if it actually does. Come on, I've seen it. Just, yeah, you see it there? Yeah, so there's a pirate station just there. So obviously that's not going to work out for us. Yeah, so we'll try and avoid that, and hopefully we don't encounter another Reaver. Alright guys, welcome back. So, I was about 10 kilometers out from the asteroid that I was heading for when I come across this. So it seems like I have finally found myself another source of uranium, which is awesome. So, but because I don't really need too much uranium at this point, I think what I'm going to do is just mark this asteroid down, and then we'll continue heading towards the asteroid with gold, and then we will mine some of that. So, we'll create a new GPS marker here, and just so that I was certain it wasn't the other uranium asteroid that I had discovered before, I turned that GPS marker on, and sure enough, this is definitely a new asteroid. So let's go ahead and mark this one. So new from current position, an asteroid, uranium. My typing sucks today. Uranium 2. Awesome. Alright, now let's continue on to the gold. And hopefully we can get there relatively quickly. And there seems to be a bit of clang happening, so there might be some loose components in the ship somewhere, but I'm not exactly sure where those components are. Or maybe it's just the mining ship that's sitting on the top connector that's causing the clang. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's causing that, but I guess once we get there we can kind of check that out. Alright, well we finally reached the asteroid. Well, almost reached the asteroid. So what I'm going to do is slow down a little bit here, and I need to actually find the gold deposit itself. And we will park as close as we can to that, and hopefully we can get it relatively close. I think we should be able to. So it seems like the gold deposit is there. So what I'm going to do is just turn on all my thrusters at this point, and we're just going to manually fly in from here. Now the question is the gold deposit on the other side? Is it on like the inside of this asteroid? No, I think it actually might be. So let's yeah, you can hear that clang. It's really bad. There is something. There is definitely something inside the ship that is either detached. Yeah, there's definitely something inside that's not going exactly right. Right, so I think that gold deposit is kind of buried into the asteroid a bit here. Actually, it might actually be just in this tunnel here. So what I'll do is I'll lock the ship down here. Alright, is that locked? Yeah, cool. Alright, so let's go and check this out and see exactly where this deposit is. Although actually, maybe what I can do is just kind of assess the damage and see what exactly is clanging around. I would really like to know what is moving around in the ship. Maybe we can check it out in the control panel. Let's see if there are any incomplete items or anything that's damaged. Let's have a look for incomplete. No, I can't find anything, so I think I'll just leave it for now and we'll check it out later. I'm sure I'll figure out exactly what was causing the clang at some point, but yeah, doesn't look like... It seems like the damage is kind of coming from the inside or from the front, although that could just be me. Alright, so let's check out this deposit. So it looks like the gold is right here, so awesome. And well, unfortunately guys, I'm going to have to end the episode here because, as I said before, I'm going to shorten these episodes quite a bit, and it seems like a drone has showed up as well. Oh no, that's just the asteroid marker. Yeah, so as I said, I'm going to have to shorten these episodes somewhat, because obviously creating these episodes are about an hour and 10 minutes long takes many hours of editing and recording and things like that. And at this point, with university and that sort of thing, I just kind of don't really have the time to commit to space engineers at this point. But like I said, once there's a break in the semester, I will continue to do videos that are about an hour and 10 minutes. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Wasteland Survival, and I hope to see you in the next episode. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you leave us a like and consider subscribing so that you do not miss another episode. Alright guys, I will see you next time.